Or like you're including Madara as well? Hello? Am I lagging? Are you lagging? What's going on here?
No, it's Prometheus. He's not responding. Maybe his mic is fucked up again. I don't know.
You said you had to go to work like fucking 30 minutes ago.
Well, he could listen to the debate. But...
y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Peach, what were you saying?
That's when he was alive, sure.
No, that's not what the statement says, or even remotely implied.
Can you show the statement?
Yeah.
Wait, are you two talking? Hold up.
Oh, I'm waiting for the scan.
Yeah, there's a scan.
Okay, so no,
Chapter
yeah. So by this
30.
Okay, so by this point, this is a vague statement. So that by this point, either Haku's dead or
Why?
this is because Haku's dead.
Okay,
So
why does
either
that
by
matter?
this point, because it's let me explain. Because either the statement's vague and it's including everyone like Madara, Hashirama, like every single person ever, or it's like a statement that it's only including the characters that are like present tense. So that would be like Jiraiya and like maybe Sekitachi and shit like that, and Pain.
No, or it can just be talking about characters that are like introduced at this point in the story. Because like, why would it be? Because like you wouldn't think it would include like characters like Kaguya who like show up like 400 chapters later, right? Like,
yeah, that's why
I'm
just
giving
talking about.
It can just be talking about characters showing up to this point.
Well, up to this point,
I'll say that at the very least, talking about characters showing up to this point.
Unrivaled in strength. Unrivaled is like a present tense statement. Yeah, but it also could just be people that are alive at the moment. So like Jiraiya and like Orochimaru and shit. So it's like a vague statement.
Yeah,
You can't really like prove anything of it.
You just said nothing.
It's equal interpretation. Like
no.
You can think like it means everyone introduced up to this point, and I can also think that it can just be people like it's a present tense statement, so it's only people that are alive at this point.
No, but you're not actually like explaining why it can be present tense statement. You're just saying it is. It's not an equal interpretation. If I'm giving word
unrivaled is a present tense.
Like, yeah, okay. Are you just gonna keep repeating yourself and going circular, or are you gonna actually substantiate what you're talking about? You keep saying it's unrivaled, and you keep saying it's present tense. I'm like, why is it present tense? You're like, it's present tense. Yeah,
because
I know you think that. I'm asking you why.
Term.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we can move on. You're just going circular. So is that like your only contention with the statement? Is that like it's present tense?
Is unrivaled not a present tense term? Like, what do you
that's
mean?
not my burden to prove. I'm not the one making that claim. You are. So yeah, if you can go and show why it means yeah,
like,
you can do that.
But you're saying it includes Haku in that definition. Like, why would it include Haku?
Because it says no rival. She exists at this point, so she's a someone. No rival is like
not really. She's dead.
Yeah, she doesn't have to exist. Like I'm saying, she exists within the story.
Yeah, so like her dead, like decaying
even
body,
if she's
it would
dead,
be
that doesn't mean anything. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like, so what if she's dead? Like, so what?
Her dead decaying body would just be like the thing that wouldn't rival Minato.
No.
Like, all right. Yo, like why are you like picking a specific point in time when like she was in her prime alive? Like, why not Kid Haku? Why not like
Because
why does it
no,
have to be a version of Haku that you're arbitrarily scaling off of?
no, it's not arbitrary. I just explained why I would include that Haku. Because just like a dead Haku is a someone, a live Haku is also a someone. So if he scales above a live Haku, then obviously he would scale above dead Haku. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, the third Hokage is also stated like the strongest of the Kage, and so he would like this would like be a self-defeating statement. So like there's contradiction.
Yeah, show me that. Yeah, show me that statement where he stated stronger than like Minato or whatever.
Okay.
Also, yeah, Minato does beat Madara. By the way, Pete.
No, he does. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so here it basically says he's esteemed as like he's the strongest Kage. Pretty much like just like says he's the strongest Kage.
Well, this is just like his reputation though. Like it's
No, it
not
doesn't
like
say reputation. This
what
doesn't say
does esteem?
reputation. It says he's the strongest Kage.
No, it says he's esteemed as a strongest Hokage.
No, the top it says strongest of all Hokage. He's just like the strongest Hokage, so he would just scale above Minato. The only thing
No,
Minato
but the
scales
bottom
above
one,
is strength.
the bottom one
Yeah,
says
he's esteemed because he is the strongest. So it's not it's like a mutually exclusive. So he can be the strongest and also be esteemed as the strongest. So Minato's statement, if you want to assert it as strength, it can be just strength, which is like physical strength. He can just be like the physically strongest,
wait,
which is fine.
which data book is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, because if this statement is before the one I'm talking about, then it doesn't really matter. Like I don't really care.
What data book is the one you're showing?
No, it isn't a data book statement. It's just from the manga, the weekly release of the manga.
Either way, this could just be Minato's like physical strength. Like doesn't necessarily need to include speed.
Um,
Anything
speed
else?
is a physical attribute, so that doesn't mean anything. Again, you're not
Not,
actually like
not
giving me the freedom.
necessarily. Like not necessarily. You can be a power lifter and not be fast.
Wait, what?
You can be a power lifter and not be fast.
Um, yeah, so
Yeah, so it is like equal interpretations. You could just be physically strong.
but I don't think that's like I don't think that's usually what the term is used
In
for. Like
Naruto,
when in Naruto has like strength been specifically used to talk about like lifting strength like you're talking about?
like Tsunade, she said like like Madara said, she was like stronger than the right Kage, but
Like actually, that's not even okay. You agree that like speed would be a physical attribute, right?
not necessarily.
I don't care if you think it's not necessarily the case. I'm asking you if it can be the case.
Just because it can be doesn't mean it is in this instance.
Well, if your refuters is that it can also be talking about, or it can be talking about like his lifting strength or whatever, that doesn't actually like serve as a defeater.
Lifting strength or just like jutsu strength, like his Rasengan. Like at this point, nobody
Yeah,
has
but
a
that
Rasen
so
Shuriken
like the
level power.
problem is that the interpretation I'm giving is not like it's not mutually exclusive. So like it can be both things, whereas like the interpretation you're giving says it has to be this one thing, which you just can't prove.
It's an equal interpretation. I don't understand.
Yeah, you said that already. So you want to move on?
It's your premise, so you would need to prove it's more likely that it's mutually exclusive or mutually inclusive.
No, you don't understand. So what you're presenting as a defeater isn't actually a defeater. So I don't have to actually address it.
Well, it's an equal interpretation. You would have to prove it's more likely it's mutually
I'm aware
equal.
that it's an equal interpretation, but you're not understanding that it doesn't defeat the argument, so it doesn't matter.
So it would just be like he could just be in either physical or G2 strength, the strongest.
Yeah, you're just saying things that doesn't like affect my argument, so I don't have to actually
It's
address it.
an equal interpretation, so that it doesn't have to
Right, you
include
said that,
speed.
so we can move on. So we can move on now. So
Okay, so you're not
uh
going to include speed in this.
no, no, that's not what I said. But yeah, we can move on.
Only like Jutsu or
No,
physical
that's
strength.
not my argument. You can keep on like misrepresenting my argument, but it's not gonna
So
actually.
what's your argument then?
I've already explained it, so we can move on.
What do
Do you
you
have
mean
any
by
other
strongest?
refutation? I don't know. You tell me.
Why do I have to tell you? This is what you're using as evidence.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
You presented a
You know what
panel.
day it
And
is? Do you know what planet you're on?
you presented a panel. You said this is
Yeah, and
evidence.
then I've
What is
given
it evidence
reasoning.
of?
Yeah, I've already explained that. I'm not gonna rehab the debate with you. Like, if you didn't
You
pay
don't need to
attention, that's your
rehab the
fault.
debate. You just never clarified it.
Um, if that's your belief, then yeah, we can move on.
Uh, okay.
So yeah. Do you want to scale Haku now, or what else do you have?
So so basically Haku is like faster than Minato, so she would just be able to tag him and like kill him.
Why?
Because Minato is like below KCM1 speed or KCM1 speed. No, below KCM1 speed.
Um, which Minato?
Hokage Minato.
Why?
It's stated.
Yeah, can you show me that?
Sure. It's like it's stated that he's not superior to V2 Raikage in speed. So he
Um,
just like
wait, why is
can't
this
be
talking
above.
about Hokage Minato though?
Oh, I mean, it'd be weird for it not to, but I can give you evidence as to why it's for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
in Hokage Minato's databook entry, it calls him the Yellow Flash, and that's what he's labeled as. And then it says everybody respects, fears him, and still calls him the Yellow Flash. So this is basically a
Yeah, but
present
like,
tense. Wait, let me finish.
yeah,
This is
go ahead, go ahead.
this is basically a present tense statement, like saying how he's still referred to as the Yellow Flash, even when he was Hokage. So that would like basically make it more likely that it would still be talking about Minato, since everybody still calls him the Yellow Flash. Like, there's nothing really to disassociate,
Well,
like Jody and Minato.
in that panel you said they call him the fourth too.
Yeah, they can call them both. So just because some people like call
No,
you
no,
your
hold
nickname
up.
and your name, that doesn't mean that they don't still call you your nickname.
Yeah, but okay, so what I've just did now is presented the possibility that it can also, so like, okay, so like you said, right, people call you your nickname and your real name too, right? But they don't call you both, right? So like, how do you know that, like, especially since the Yellow Flash moniker is like he got that when he was a Jonin, how are you able to tell that this is specifically talking about Hokage Minato?
All right, so the fourth Raikaga's databook statement, that was like the last databook. This was at like after all the events that had already happened. So this would be like a post statement, and
I
then
don't
this
I don't
Hokage
think
Minato.
I don't think you understood my argument. Like, why
I
is
know
that
you're.
relevant?
I'm like explaining why it's more likely that it is the Yellow Flash. So basically, on the fourth data book entry, it labels him as the Yellow Flash, like right there on the side, the Yellow Flash. And then it shows like I also showed another one where they still call him Konoha's Yellow Flash. So basically, it's like equal interpretation, and if anything, more likely that it is the Yellow Flash, just because it's just another nickname for him. Like for to say Jonin Minato, it wouldn't make sense for them to be referring to a previous like or a nerfed Minato if he's even nerfed. Like I don't even know how you could prove he even got any faster. So basically, it's just referring to Minato
Well, no,
overall.
the well, no, it's not. It doesn't have to be. And the scaling I've established earlier would be proof that he got faster.
What scaling?
The one we just talked about with the unrivaled strength.
Yeah, you didn't really contest the equal possibility of it just being like physical strength or jutsu strength.
Yeah, no, I didn't contend that because it wasn't a refuter. So
Well,
like,
equal
okay, so
possibility, you would need to
wait,
prove it's more likely.
hold up. If it can be the fourth, if it can be talking about the fourth, or Hokage Minato, and it can be talking about Joni Minato, right? Um,
Why can't it be talking about Joni Minato? Like, why would it be talking about a younger Minato?
I just told you because they refer to Joni Minato as the Yellow Flash. That's when he got the moniker.
Yeah, and they also refer to Hokage Minato, so why is it equally as likely for them to be referring to a
I was just
previous
getting
version?
around. I was just getting around to explain that, but then you cut me off.
Okay.
So yeah, so if it can be talking about Hokage Minato, and it can be talking about Joni Minato, right? Um, if you can't establish why it necessarily is talking about Hokage Minato, then I can just say that this scaling is talking about Joni Minato, and it doesn't actually establish a contradiction from the scaling that like presented earlier.
You said it can be Joni Minato, but like you haven't given a reason why. You just said he gained his name when he was Jonin, but like just because you gain a nickname
I
when
I
you're a
literally
kid.
explained it. I explained it twice. You already asked me why before. This is like the third time you're asking me now.
Yeah, you said because he gained his name when he was a Jonin, but
You
they
the
still call
panel.
him the Yellow Flash.
Look at the second panel you showed me. That's Hokage mean or that's a Joni Minato being called the Yellow Flash. So
Yeah,
they
but
refer to
in the
Joni
data book
Minato as
entry, it talks about the fourth.
Yeah, you see how you just made that distinction in the name, right? The fourth, they also call him the Yellow Flash too. So yeah,
Everybody respects and fears, like everybody respects and fears him, and still calls him the Yellow Flash. That's like a present tense statement. So they still call him the
yeah,
Yellow
but they
Flash. So it's more likely it's talking about that.
no, but they don't only call him the Yellow Flash though. And we know there's a different period in time where he's also referred to as the Yellow Flash as well.
Um, yeah. Why would he
So like,
like?
okay, so like if they so if he got the Yellow Flash moniker when he was a Hokage, right? That there's no way I can claim that it could be referring to Joni Minato because he wasn't referred to as such, right? But I'm presenting this point in time prior to when he was a Hokage where he's referred to as the Yellow Flash.
Okay, so like just because Hiruzen's name, like nickname's the Professor, that doesn't mean like every single statement that somebody says Professor, like they're talking about Professor in present tense that refers to as like a younger version of Hiruzen when he got his nickname. Like I don't see why
Well,
that's a likely
well, we don't
interpretation.
even know when. We don't even know when Hiruzen got his nickname.
Yeah, but like for them to be referring to a very specific point in time when they
Yeah,
got the
but like
nickname.
what you're saying is contingent on like what you're saying is like contingent on the nickname being gained before he was a Hokage, which we don't know if that's the case.
I mean, it doesn't have to be before he was Hokage. It could be during his Hokage. I don't like just because he got it when he
Yeah,
was a
but we don't
Hokage.
know. That's the point I'm making.
They're not two separate titles though. It's like Tsunade and being a Sanin. Just because someone says Tsunade is a Sanin, that doesn't mean she's not the Hokage still. Like she still keeps her previous titles and shit. Even as she's Hokage, she's just also a Hokage now.
Yeah,
So it's like it
I
would
don't
be
think you're
improper
understanding it
dialect.
doesn't mean anything.
It would be improper dialect if we were having a conversation and I said, so like Tsunade the Sanin is doing something as a present tense statement, like it refers to it in the data book. And then it would be referring to Tsunade like in her like fucking 30s or some shit when it's
I
a
mean, sure,
present tense
why?
statement.
Yeah, that can follow. What's the problem with that?
That would just be improper dialect. I would
The
just
verse of the
I would
bread.
just clarify that it was the younger
Yo,
Tsunade.
Gil's badass, that dumb Brazilian bitch who lives in a third world country and is poor. All right, thank you. Peach, yeah, what were you saying?
So it would be improper dialect basically for like me to be using someone's title. If they have several nicknames, for me to use just one of their nicknames and not specify like in a present tense statement, in a present tense scenario, that would just be referring to like the
Wait, okay, wait. Okay, well, first of all, I think we've already addressed this, so, or I've addressed this, so, um, yeah, you keep saying like it's improper to say that, and I'm like, well, why? Like that can follow. Like, what's the problem with that?
well, all right. So basically, there's more contextual evidence to say that it was Hokage Minato, because like even his aides and shit say that the Fourth Reich Hage has
Wait,
similar
where are you
reaction
getting
speed
that
to
from?
him. What?
Well, no,
The right?
that's what's in question is, um,
Yeah, the Reich
no, you
Hage's
can't you
aides.
can't just use what's in question as evidence. So, what's in question is what these or what like what Minato they're talking about. And you're saying, well, this evidence, which is what's in question, supports that it's talking about Hokage, which is what I'm questioning right now. That's what we're talking about right now. You can't just use what's in question as evidence.
So like basically, if someone dies, like someone dies, and then their nickname, they had two different nicknames, um, and you're talking about their life accomplishments, you wouldn't really like if you say like El Kukui, and you're talking about El Kukui, you wouldn't really like be like saying like El Kukui was great at like football if he died like in his prime. Unless you like said El Kukui in his younger years or some shit and like clarified, because that would just be improper use of the language.
Well, no, that's just not. That's just a like very clearly not true. Because like, um, people still he's still El Tony Ferguson is still El Kukui, but like they also refer to like prime Tony Ferguson as El Kukui as well. Like calling them both El Kukui is not like improper like speaking.
No, but you would say El Kukui was
Yo,
great.
Mute Gills. Oh,
Yo, tell him to go fix.
yo, Gil, you literally are inbred. So like, can you stop?
I didn't hear you,
Like,
Gil.
you're a
Can you repeat
cigarette
that?
baby. No, I was saying that when Gil was like, when he was in the womb, his mother smoked and drank when she was pregnant with him. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, what you were saying, Peach?
Like I think we're pretty much going circular at this point. Like, basically someone's nickname, it would be like improper contextualization for you to like just like believe they're talking about a previous version of themselves, um, instead of like their prime self or the like where they die or the most present tense version, because in present tense they still use um, the same nickname and refer to him as that. So basically, like if he's not inferior to Minato in speed, why would it make sense? Or the Yellow Flash, which is his nickname, which is an overarching nickname, which they still call him that to present tense. Why would it make sense for him to then be also inferior to Minato, like a year later after like some arbitrary age you're trying to assign this nickname to? So then he would be inferior. It wouldn't be he's not inferior. He would be inferior to the Yellow Flash, which is an overarching nickname for Minato. It would just be improper
Wait.
contextualization.
Can you repeat your point? You're like rambling.
So basically, this overarching statement, this nickname doesn't like get unassigned from him. It's an overarching nickname. And to say you're not inferior to someone, when this nickname is still assigned to them to present tense, it would be improper contextualization because you would be inferior to them because the nickname is an overarching nickname. You know, when does he's like not inferior to the Yellow Flash? Like when at which
Oh,
point is he not inferior?
that's just not true. And I can use my previous example as well. So like,
No,
so
your
like,
previous example was strength, like physical strength only, and we already went over that, and you didn't
no, I'm
like
not. That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm
you didn't
talking about.
assert
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. So, so yeah,
what
so
previous
like,
example.
so yeah, so if I said, so like if I said, Tony Ferguson, um, like is better than like I don't know who's somebody who's like name somebody he beat, right?
Paddy Pimblett,
He hasn't fought him yet, dickhead.
he's better than him. You asked me who he's better than.
We're still debating.
I would say
What's
so
up,
far
Batman?
Brahmius, but
Yeah, you're broke as fuck. You ain't got no money. Bromius, please continue your point.
personally, I would say Brahmius is winning right now, but that's just me.
Ken, you're a fucking glazer. You're a max level glazer, Ken.
But
Ken's
yeah,
just a glazer and a lackey.
hold on. Let me. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like, I don't really. I'm just using an analogy here, but like, if you said um, like Tony Ferguson can beat Habib in his prime, right? Um, and then you also said he can't beat Habib now, right? Those are both true things, right? You're still talking about Tony Ferguson in both instances, but there's a difference in their strength due to the time period you're talking about. It's not incorrect to say both things are true.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what I said earlier. Like in contextualization, if you said Jonin Minato, Jonin Yellow Flash, or Warring States Yellow Flash, and you specified like which time period, like you specified younger Minato is not inferior, and then you said but Prime Minato is, like, he would be inferior to Prime Minato, then you would be like basically contextualizing it more, so it makes sense. But that's like saying El Kukui and like Tony Ferguson, like instead of getting like weaker, he got like way stronger. Saying saying Patty Pimblett is not inferior to El Kukui, but like you're talking about El Kukui when he was younger and weaker. It would not be a overarching, like it would not be in um stop making noises, bro. So like if you're saying El Kukui, which is still a present tense nickname, which I've already asserted it is, based on contextualization. So El Kukui, he's not inferior to Patty Pimblett is not inferior to El Kukui. It wouldn't make sense for you to say that if he is inferior to El Kukui, and he's only not inferior to El Kukui when he was younger. So basically he is inferior to El Kukui. He just is he's just no longer not inferior. He's now is inferior.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we can move on from this point. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
so
basically we can like just go over it one more time then, like, so you're saying like it's talking about like a previous version of himself, but like I've already like
yeah,
I'm
it
saying
doesn't
it.
yeah, it doesn't have to be talking about Hokage Minato.
Yeah, but like, and then my argument was
And
just
like
that,
if my okay, so like if my scaling went through, right, then my interpretation would just be backed by my scaling. Like it would just be self proving.
like, if you had scaling to prove that somehow Minato was like not associated or some shit, or what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because like obviously like the quantification I'm giving here to prove that would be the scaling I presented earlier.
What earlier?
Wrong screen.
Like bro, why is Gil not muted? Like server mute that retard. Um yeah. But yeah, I mean so what was your scaling chain? Because we were just kind of talking about whether this was in reference to Minato. Like what was your
I
scaling
just
chain
pretty much
again?
said Minato. Yellow Flash is an overarching term that's still present tense, and I showed it was like still present tense through the statement. And Haku is just faster than like KCM1, and Minato is below KCM1 because he's like he's not superior to Raikage, and KCM1 would be superior to Raikage.
Oh why is Haku Casey one speed?
Wait, so we can like continue from this point, and like Minato is like
Yeah,
KCM1.
wait, say that again?
So we can continue from this point, and Minato is like KCM1 or below.
Uh no, you'd be scaling him to the Raikage, right? You're saying he's like Raikage speed was like equal to KCM1?
Below KCM1.
Why is the Raikage below KCM1?
Because KCM1 was able to dodge him point blank.
That doesn't. Why does that mean why does that mean KCM1 is fast?
Or he could be relative, but like since it was point
Yeah,
blank,
that's
he
that's pretty much where I'm going. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm
equal.
going for.
So like so you're okay with Minato equal to Raikage?
Yeah, KCM1, Raikage, Minato being relative. Yeah, that's fine.
And then so basically Haku reacted point blank to a War Arc guy who's relative to White Mask Obito, and White Mask Obito is relative to MKCM Naruto, who's above KCM1.
Yeah, show the guy feed.
Sure. Guy with White Mask Obito or Haku?
No, the Haku shit.
Okay. Haku's able to like react with her arm, reacting to Lee and Guy at the same time from their peripheral vision, like reacting with one arm each to block each arm. So that would be like a point blank relative physical movement that they would need to do in order to react without getting kicked in the face.
Just show me the scan.
It's in Arkham City debate scans because they're spamming the general.
Oh. What chapter is this? This
I don't
crusty
know.
ass. Hold up. I think this is like 517.
So you're okay with Haku being relative, the Warwick guy?
No, hold up. I'm looking for the chapter.
No.
Just because we're not talking, you spat.
I thought Gil slammed Batman.
Okay, yeah. This is chapter 522. Uh, yeah. Weren't they amped with like oral chakra though?
Amped in which way?
Just amped in general. Like if he's like if Kabuto was like pouring in oral chakra, like specifically into them, they would just get strong.
He was just tightening their control over them because he said he
Uh,
needed it to control the Edos, or like he basically needed the chakra because they were like sorcery broke out, Hanzo broke out, and then like
Well, Peach, you realize that like that's also not like mutually exclusive. Like he can be using them to amp them, but like also to like tighten his grip on them.
But like amp them in which way?
It's just an overall chakra amp.
But how do you know they're like getting amped by chakra?
Uh, you, we just agreed that he's like pouring chakra into them.
Not into them, just into controlling them.
Yeah, but like, how do you think he like controls?
He like through the tag.
Yeah, and there's chakra in the tag.
He's just tightening their grip over them. I don't see why this would like put chakra into them physically.
No,
It
he's
just
not just doing that. If you agree that like chakra amps you, right? Then like this idea that it's only just to do this one thing just doesn't follow. Because like
only to tighten his
it's not
control of
being
them.
stated that it's only just this thing. He's just saying why he's doing it, but that doesn't disprove it being an amp.
And, well, you said it was an amp though, so like, why would it
Yeah,
be going into
you
their
want me to
bodies?
prove that like chakra amps you?
Uh, Physically? Well, yeah. Why does chakra amp you physically?
Uh, you remember like you remember that like when like Hinata gets like she gets like a Kurama chakra and like her gentle fist attacks um like get stronger.
That's her jutsu speed. So,
Gentle fist is it's taijutsu.
well, that's no. She's like using taijutsu to perform a jutsu. So basically, like,
Yeah, taijutsu is like physicality though.
no. In
You want me
most
to prove that
instances, in most
gentle yeah,
instances
I
of
can prove gentle fist is taijutsu. Hold up.
that's an exception though. But in most
Say
instances,
why.
because in most instances they just use stamina, like not chakra, in order to move and physically move. That wouldn't be like a chakra. Like that wouldn't be based on chakra.
Yeah, that doesn't okay, so what if they don't normally like use chakra to do that? That doesn't so what?
And yeah, they don't use chakra to like physically move. That would be like an outlier because
Um
her jutsu is based on taijutsu. So like her jutsu base
no
is
no 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 no
taijutsu, and that's the
no.
means of which she
It's
uses
not a
jutsu.
jutsu though. That's what you're not understanding. It's like literally taijutsu. It's like a physical thing. You want me to get this game for that?
That's like yeah, but that's like still an outlier though,
Why?
because in most instances they use stamina, not chakra, to physically move. So this it would just be more likely that Haku, a person who doesn't show like special taijutsu moves like the gates or like the gentle fist, it would just be more likely that since most people use stamina, Haku would just be using stamina, not chakra.
Can you show me the stamina shit you're talking about?
Okay.
PEACHFUZZ.
Yeah, fake ass definitions they got from a fake ass website. It's not real.
I thought PEACHFUZZ and Gil were the same human for a second.
I mean, like I get my dictionary like definitions from a dictionary though.
Wait, hold on.
You can
They're still debating, right? No.
you can show me like as many fake websites as you want.
Wow. Wow.
I already got it. Well, you're
Wow.
basically a retarded Batman. It's right there. It shows that they, in most instances, they use stamina, not chakra, to physically move. And even like Rock Lee uses stamina, and he's like a taijutsu based fighter. So like it would be more than likely that Haku would be just be using stamina to
Wait,
physically move.
um, wait, but like chakra, that doesn't mean that like chakra can't be. That doesn't mean that they don't use chakra to like amp themselves too.
Why would they use chakra to amp themselves? Where are you getting this from?
Well, like like the whole gates, like the point of the gates is to like let more chakra flow through you to get like, and then they get stronger and faster as a result.
Yeah, the gates would just be like a outlier jutsu.
You keep saying it's an outlier when like that's what's
Yeah, those are two outliers, and then like for everyone else, it would just not be the case.
wait, how do you know that how do you know that the Haku example also isn't an outlier?
It would just be more than likely because it even says here,
Why?
taijutsu does not require signs at all, nor with a few exceptions do they
Wait,
require chakra.
who's the person saying this?
I'm pretty sure it's Guy.
Uh no. Oh no, this is the person talking about this is Ibisu, I think.
Oh yeah,
Like
he's
the
an elite
fucking
Jonin. He's very reliable.
yeah. Why does he know what? How does he know the? How do you prove he knows the Edo Tensei Jutsu?
Well, this doesn't have to do with Edot Tensei. This is just how like basic kinematics
No.
of Naruto.
But your claim is contingent on him knowing the Edo Tensei Jutsu and saying, well, oh yeah, in this case they're using stamina as well.
No, it wouldn't be.
Why?
Because like it would just basing it off of like the kinematics of the Naruto verse, and then like that would just follow that it's
Yeah,
more
but
likely.
that's like but that's like contingent on what he knows, right? So like if he doesn't, so if he isn't aware of this jutsu, then how can you say this applies to that?
Like what jutsu, but why would the Edo Tensei change the fact of like how the kinematics work?
No. This is what you're claiming, right? You're saying this includes the Edo Sensei Jutsu, and
Why
I'm
does it? Wait,
disassociating
why?
that by saying this is I'm disasso. All I have to do is disassociate it,
But
and
why
you're
is
claiming
the
I
But why
copy.
does the Edo Tensei change the kinematics of how Haku moves?
Wait, if I've gave substantiation for stats being increased by chakra, and then your defeater is this like statement, which doesn't include like Edo Tensei, then it just doesn't work. Like my claim like goes through.
No, the examples you gave were possible exceptions, but for the vast majority, which it says in the statement, like the probability of them using chakra to enhance their moves um, would be like far likelier that they don't do that. So then, like even if for some reason the Edos were like amped by chakra, that would only be their jutsu, not their physical like their physical attributes, because like unless like their kinematics are already part of the few exception, like unless they're already like they already know how to amp themselves with chakra, like with gentle fist or the gates or some shit, like then how would like getting more chakra, why would that even amp them if they don't even know how to amp themselves with chakra? Like they just wouldn't know how to do that or be capable of doing it. They would just be like part of the majority, which still includes stamina.
Yeah, but I've already disassociated that by saying he doesn't actually know shit about the Edo Tensei.
But the Edo Tensei is irrelevant. Like, so basically, you're saying because of the Edo Tensei, they're pouring more chakra, which makes them faster. But I'm saying Like the Edot Tensei, even if they're pouring chakra into them, why
Yeah,
would
but
that
like
amp?
this standard you're applying is contingent on him knowing that this applies to the Edo Tensei as well.
No, this doesn't have to do with the Edot Tensei. It would just be basic
But all I'm
kinematics.
trying, no, because you're not understanding like the point in that. Like if stamina isn't like necessarily what's being used, right? Or you can't, or at the very least, you can't prove that this is what's being used for the Edo Tensei Jutsu. Then then you can't prove that you can't prove that this like Haku scales
What do you mean?
because if
Stamina
chakra,
isn't used for Edot
because
Tensei.
if you can't prove they aren't using chakra to like amp stats, right? Um, then it's possible that this chakra increase would make them stronger.
I don't have to definitively prove it. It's just, well, everything's based on like hypotheticals and likelihood, and I just like asserted the likelihood that
No, but the likely consistency is reliant on the same conditions, which I've just proven isn't the same. Like they're not he doesn't know anything about the Edo Tensei Jutsu.
he doesn't need to know about the Edot Tensei Jutsu to know the kinematics of most people.
Why?
Because, like, let's say Haku, when Haku was alive, it's just
Wait,
more
wait,
than
wait, wait, wait,
likely.
wait, wait, wait. But he already acknowledges that there's people out there who can't amp themselves with chakra.
Few
So
exceptions.
like, who's to okay, and then Edo Tensei can very easily be one of those exceptions. But since we don't know, you can't like claim that they're not using chakra to amp their stats. So it just disassociates the scaling regardless.
Well, why would Haku know how to amp, like, capable of, or knowing how to amp their stats with chakra?
Bro, that's literally what's in question. Like, okay, look at it like this, right? The conclusion is still the same, but you can't prove it, right? So like so like if I don't necessarily prove this to be the case, right? Um it doesn't just make your claim true because what's in question is if this is necessarily the case. So it doesn't help you. My inability to prove it, which is not even like it doesn't matter if I can or cannot prove it.
No,
You can't
I
prove
already
it either,
proved the
so it just
likelihood.
disassociates.
So I already proved the likelihood
No,
that
but
more
yeah,
than
but
likely, unless
and I
Haku's an
refuted
exception.
that though. But I refuted that, which
Yeah,
is
you said
the
Edot
fact that
Tensei is a risk.
consistency. If the
You said,
conditions are the same, yeah, sure, you can. We went over this already. Yeah, so
okay, so
um
basically, I could still, like, even without that, Haku's light speed, and he can't react to light speed,
why can't you
or he
react
can't
like
dodge it.
why?
It's stated in the data book that you can't perceive or dodge light speed.
Well, wait, but isn't that like contingent on the ice mirror?
So he would just ice mirror behind Minato and stab him in the neck.
Why? Okay, so like this is okay. I'll give you an example of why this doesn't work. So like so I know Gil likes to use this retarded example because he's inbred and he's a cigarette baby. But so like with Itachi, right? It's stated he's invincible if he has the Yada mirror and the Totsuka blade out, right? So that's a conditional invincibility, meaning that these things have to be present for this to follow. So just because he has conditional invincibility doesn't mean he's overall invincible because you can just kill that nigga before he even pulls those things out. So like
Yeah,
if Minato is like established to be stronger and we know that like and I accept that Minato can't dodge this thing, right? Then that would just mean that like Minato kills that nigga before he even pulls it out. Because like having this
no.
OP ability
Why?
doesn't guarantee he pulls it off. Like
He would just go, like, teleport behind his back and stab him in the neck.
yeah, but that's condition. That's conditioned on him getting the jutsu off.
Why is that conditional? Batman, shut up. Hey, Batman. Hey, Batman.
Nah, it's okay.
Silence.
Like he can't. Like he pretty much agreed that his like win con is like conditional, and
Yeah, wait, conditional on what?
on the jutsu.
Yeah, the
It
jutsu
is
which
a
he can use. Like,
Okay,
whether or not it's
okay.
conditional.
I've explained it before, but I'll use like a different example, right? Um, let's say I have this like, okay, let's look at like jujitsu for example, right? Like, if I put you in a chokehold, right? You're going out, right? You're going to sleep. Like if Charles put you in a chokehold, he put Khabib's trash ass in a chokehold, right? He's choking him out, and that's it, right? But he has to get the chokehold first.
Yeah, so the ice mirrors, he can just place them behind Minato. Like, what? Why would that condition not be able to be met?
Yeah, that's what's the question is if he can do that. Like you're just naming a win con. Like yeah, Pain can like steal your soul. It's an insta kill. Okay, why does Pain get that jutsu off? Like you're not
Yeah, well,
actually.
he would just not have to be a Batman. Shut up.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't understand like conditions or whatever. So yeah, we can move
Well,
on.
he would still physically be moving through the mirrors either way.
Yeah, but
So, like,
you see what
that
you
would
just
go
said.
to his reaction
Pay
speed.
attention to what you just said. He would be physically moving through the mirrors, right? There has to be a mirror for him to do that.
Yeah, and he would be physically doing it, which would entail his reaction speed.
Okay, yeah, we can move on.
Wait, what? I don't. You didn't even defeat why he wouldn't be able to do this.
No, I, I don't have to contest it. Like I don't care about it. It doesn't mean anything to me. That's why I'm not arguing against.
So then he's
I
able
mean, I
to just
can, but I don't
he's
want
just
to.
able
So
to he's just
just
able
waste the
to
time.
like blitz them and kill them. Well,
And this is like,
you haven't said why it
man,
can't
this is like
happen.
literally like the Gil Kodo argument.
You haven't said why it can't happen.
Bruh, just because it can happen doesn't mean it will happen.
I mean, that's
That's
what
like
he uses. His condition is what he uses. He uses that in a fight.
yeah, I'm aware of that,
You
but it
like that's
doesn't
like the
mean
only
like he gets
ability
it
he
off on
uses.
everybody. He doesn't even start out. He doesn't even like initially start with the mirror jutsu either.
Why? Yeah, he does.
I think that's pretty
So he
much
would
it.
just like throw a kunai through a mirror and then kill him. So like, you're not contesting that.
I've already presented my scaling. Yours is conditional. Mine is not. Like
He can just pop up the mirrors. I don't know.
yeah, that's pretty much the debate. Yeah, we don't really.
So now you can hear me, audience. What's it called? So just for like a fucking brief distinction, it's like Peach's retarded ass arguing like, oh, you know, well, Lee, he could do this while without weights. You know what I mean? But then when the opponent says, well, if he has, you know, if weights are still on though and he's not weightless, you know what I mean? That doesn't matter. It's literally that like that's simple ass logic, and Peaches can't understand the distinction between the two. So it is what it is.
He's already without the weights though. He uses the mirrors in combat.
Yeah, that doesn't answer anything though. Like you're yapping. Like it doesn't mean anything.
So if I use like a fire style and that's all I use in combat, and I say that's the win con to beat your character, and you're not refuting it, so it would just follow through.
Yeah, Peach, you don't understand. You're retarded.
Yeah, you're not tracking.
Like you
Gunplay,
can't
yeah,
track
you
to save your
So if
fucking
there's a
life.
condition,
Like at the end of the day, like what you're not understanding, in order to utilize jutsu, you have to activate it. Your neural transmission has to like think, do it, and then it can be done. You're over here arguing it is already happening, and he's arguing something else entirely to and why that's redundant, etc. And you just like you don't understand.
yeah,
that.
what is he? He
You
hasn't
don't
argued
understand
anything
that.
otherwise.
So it's fine.
He hasn't argued anything otherwise.
That's fine. I think everybody heard enough.
He has not argued or refuted it.
That's
otherwise.
fine. You can think that. His argument was very simple. He kills Haku before he even does it. Simple. And it was
never
along with
proved
other
any
things,
evidence.
and it
He
was
never-
along
he
with
never
other things as
provided
well.
any
I don't care.
evidence.
I
He
don't
never
care.
provided any evidence to support that.
Cool.
He never provided any evidence to say that would be the case.
He said plenty enough. We can move on.
What did he say? Can you repeat it?
No, I'm not.
Explain
I'm not
it.
arguing
Explain
for
it,
him.
Batman.
It's in the
Batman,
recording.
explain
It's
it.
in the recording.
Explain it. Shorten it for me. Make a summary. Batman, are you gonna explain it or not? What argument? He didn't. He never said why the win con's irrelevant. He just said. He said it's a condition. He never said the condition can't be met. He okay, so he never contested whether or not they could go in the mirror. Just because you're saying it's a condition doesn't mean the condition can't be met. That's exactly what I said. What other factors? You can never prove that. You can never prove there's any back force because he makes any attack like basically nullified. So the swing. No, wait, no. There's actually no movement in that panel. There's no movement in that panel. There's no movement in that panel. There's no movement in that panel. You literally showed the panel and there's no movement. So you just pretty much said there's a condition. I'm not talking to you. So you basically said there's a condition, and the condition is that the jutsu he uses primarily can be a win con. Batman, what do you not understand? I'm not talking to you.
The debate is over, dickhead.
You never scaled your character above Haku.
No, I did that in the beginning with the statement that it was your turn to scale.
Yeah, and I did equal interpretation that was just physical or jutsu. That's why you're a little